Hey guys, I did some wheeling and dealing and different things, you know how it goes in the mini bike world. But this Jongdong motor that's on the Storm 200, it's getting ready to come off. I'm going to put it on the $75 go-kart. I've got a new clutch, should be here any day for it. I'm going to use that 212 for another, that non-Hemi 212 for another project. This is getting ready to get its, I've had that Ducar engine brand new in the box. I'm going to slap it on it. I'm going to use the breather box and everything, just leave it stock, but it should make quite the little bike. I did order the stretch kick for a big brake in the back. We're going to go ahead and put the front suspension on it, kind of build this into a little street bike for next summer. The old Patriot, I've got her tore down. I'm getting ready to add the rear sway bar link. Going to add some 10-inch, probably 10-inch wheels, maybe leave it stock. I'm not quite 100% sure. I've got the frame pretty well tore down and getting ready to start getting everything done on it. This is where it's at right now. I did also get a foot peg relocator that I got to get drilled in, and it's got a lot of work. I have a brand spanking new Ghost engine to go on it, so it's going to be quite the little project. I still got a few parts to order for it, but we'll see where we get at. This is going to be kind of a little off-road racer, you know, a little fun. This thing, the customer bike, well, it's got bent valves in it. First I thought maybe it was vapor locked, which took spark plug out and jerked on it, and I mean, it's got oil everywhere and it was squirting out the whole 9 yards. Kind of got everything done, put the spark plug back in it, and as soon as I pulled it, I about broke my wrist. The guy actually that owned it, that I sold this old bike to, he popped a couple fingers. You know how that kickback sometime is. I don't really know what's going on with it right now. I'm just gonna pull the motor off of it. He's done, and well, my old bike, she's back. It's kind of how it goes in this world. But I've got my Tillotson that I'm gonna throw on it. I've got the CT 200U plate, so I don't have to cut any bars or do anything like that. Once I have this thing apart, I think I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way down. Front suspension kit. Got one of those sitting in the box waiting for it. My Stage 2 Tillotson. Ought to make this thing scream pretty good. I'm not looking for real fast, but you know, about 50 mile an hour would be kind of fun on it. I thought about street tires maybe on it, but this thing might get rode off-road a little bit. It's hard to tell. As for my big cart, so I had to lap the flywheel because it was coming loose, and that was a lot of its vibration. The motor's completely fixed on it. It runs like a champ, but the 224 just don't have enough takeoff power. There's not enough bottom end torque. So what my plan is, I know a lot of you guys are going to go, oh, throw a 420 on it, throw a 459 on it. I actually have a 301 brand spanking new in the box with a 40 series that's going to be more than I need. I mean, it's not that beefy of a frame. I'm not looking to put almost 20 foot-pounds of torque. The 14 or 15 that the 301 makes is going to be plenty to shove this cart around. So, I mean, it has single front suspension. It don't even have dual. I'm not looking to modify this thing crazily. I just want a nice little putter that gets around. I have not burned a belt up yet or anything with it, but you know, it's bound to happen. The Subi cart did eat its first belt today. I did have to replace it. Daughters are out rolling around on it. That Subaru motor, it runs, but when it's real cold, I do have to give it a little shot of ether to get it popped off. I rebuilt the carburetor on it, but it's still not 100% right. It has some idling issues and a few other things, but once it warms up, it runs really good. It's just that first initial getting it started, it's just... And to buy a brand new carburetor for one of them Subarus, I can literally buy a brand new engine from Harbor Freight for about the same amount as that carburetor costs, because they're like almost 90 bucks. So I'm kind of at that where this 224, because that Subaru is going to give me some problems, is going to go on the Manco, that Subi cart. So, like I say, now on this thing, I've got some work to do to it. I am going to rob the engine off of it for that CT200U. Evie's little black cart, I bought some pipe. I'm going to get it bent up as soon as I get a chance and get it welded on there, build a little roll cage, seat belt and all that, because I got a 7-year-old daughter who's going to be riding it. She's going to get this one, and I have that non-Hemi little Predator 212 that runs like a top. I cleaned the carburetor on it when I bought that little $75 cart, and I ended up putting a new one that I had laying around on it. So I'm going to pull its motor off and put it on here and mount the a torque converter on this one. You know, Evie, she's big enough to with the seat all the way forward, she can reach the pedals just fine, and I think she'll have a lot better. It'll be a lot better off for this cart. Let's see, where are we at now? I have way too many projects, guys. Somebody help me, please. So on this thing, we have a 50 tooth. I gotta pull the hub off and get it mounted on there. Everything's pretty well getting ready to go on it. I am gonna pull the engine riser plate off of it because I'm gonna do a jack shaft setup. This bike actually is sold. I just have to finish it up for a customer. He didn't want, it was the customer that owned this one. We did a little wheeling and dealing on some things, me and his dad did, and it's a son and a dad. This was kind of their first build that I helped them with, and this motor, compared to the bicycle axle, it's just too much torque. I'm tired of welding on it, tired of fixing it. They get to ride it a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and they break it again. I really don't have... There's no way, unless I really highly modify this, and by the time they spend all the money to remodify everything, they could have something that's, you know, a little more unique and a little more different. But for the most part, we're going to pull that motor off, use the jack shaft setup on that one. This thing's coming along. I got to get a good week to kind of work on it and this and that. But that's where I'm at right now, guys. This is kind of where the projects are getting built. So holler at y'all later.